They always think they're the one at the wheel. You sit still, smile, neither denying nor confirming. They use the same old tricks. Disappear so you worry. Return so you rejoice. Throw a few compliments so you're hooked. Pull back so you stumble. Create chaos so you lose balance, then reward you so you believe again. But you need to see clearly. That is not seduction. It's just science. It's dopamine. It's the formula of intermittent reinforcement, a rhythm that makes people addicted, not because they receive, but because they never know when they will receive again. The truth is simple. The one who controls the rhythm is the one who holds the power. Not the one who speaks sweet words. Not the one who disappears and reappears, but the one who stays calm in the middle of the noisy game. You don't need to win with emotions, tears, or pleas. You win with composure, by sitting still, unmoved, letting the other exhaust themselves with old tricks. This is not a video to patch a broken heart. This is a video to reclaim power. And true power begins the moment you understand. You can walk away anytime without ever looking back. Number 1. The psychology base. An old experiment, but never outdated. The rats in Skinner's lab. A single lever. Some got food every time they pressed. Some pressed forever and got nothing. But the third group, sometimes they got it, sometimes not, and they became the most frantic lever pressers, not because of hunger, but because they couldn't be sure what would come next. Humans are the same. We don't get addicted to rewards, we get addicted to waiting for rewards. In love, it shows up more subtly. A good morning text midweek, making you think you're special. A long night where their gaze lingers more than it should, making you believe you've touched something deep. Then silence. Then a return. Gentle, as if nothing ever happened. Your heart isn't addicted to that person. Your heart is addicted to the feeling of being chosen again. It's like waiting for a door to open, only for it to close each time it cracks. This is how players survive. Not geniuses. Not masters of love. Just people exploiting a mechanism already wired into your brain. And if you choose to fight with emotion, you lose. Because they never really play with emotion. You want to win? Keep your heartbeat slow. Keep your mind steady. Don't react. Don't scramble. Let the silence do the work for you. This is the first step. Realize that every game runs on rhythm. Whoever controls the rhythm writes the rules. Number 2, the frame of power, fear, and gain. All people, no matter how wise, run on 2 engines: fear of loss and desire for gain. Nothing more. Once you hold these 2 buttons, the game is no longer theirs. Players make you feel like you're about to gain, about to touch closeness, about to step into real love. Then they yank it back, plant the fear of loss. You get trapped in the cycle. But reverse it. Don't give it all, and don't take it all away. Give them just enough, so they believe they're moving forward. Then subtly pull back, planting fear inside them. You don't need to shout. Just a silence with intention. Picture this. One evening you walk together. The breeze is cool. The city lit with lights. You listen. You smile. Your eyes linger long enough to create intimacy. Then, just when they start to believe they've won, you close with composure. A short goodbye, a door closing. No fight, no tension. You simply keep part of yourself untouchable. You've triggered both engines at once. They feel they are gaining, almost holding your heart. They begin to fear losing it because you never confirmed they truly had it. This balance is the real strength, not pampering, not loud resistance, but standing firm, holding the upper ground in silence. Players expect you to rush after them, beg for definitions, seek commitments. But you're different. You connect without clinging. You care without chaining. That's the secret. Serenity unsettles people far more than coldness ever could. Whoever controls fear and desire in a relationship holds the power, not through violence, not through words, but through composure that cannot be moved. Number 3, the 5-step strategy map kept concise with pauses. Step 1, seize the frame early. Players always enter with a default frame. I am the prize. You're lucky to have my attention. If you accept that frame, you lose from the start. So break it with silence and action. Don't ask, what are we? Don't chase mixed signals. Don't let them think you're waiting for validation. Instead, you show up as someone who already has a world of their own. A packed schedule, a circle of friends, work, and passions. When they text, you reply, but not in haste. When they vanish, you don't frantically search. You let composure speak. Curiosity in them begins to grow. Why isn't this person drawn into me? Why do they stand so steady? The frame of power doesn't lie in words. It lies in who controls the rhythm. Step 2. Reverse intermittent reinforcement. Players manipulate with the same old formula. Give, withdraw. Give, withdraw. You want to win? Don't imitate them. Reverse it. Picture a date. They say pretty words, you only smile, nod, but when they do something real, get you home safely, listen fully, keep a small promise, you give the reward. A warm glance, a sincere thank you, a smile that makes them feel special. Then the next day, if they disappear, you don't blame, you don't flood with texts. You simply lessen the warmth. No punishment, no explanation, just less. It's a small slip, but it throws them off balance, because for the first time, the reward is no longer in their hands. Step 3. Controlled depth. Many fail here. They think to match a player, they must be shallow. Wrong. Shallow only creates a void. You need another weapon. Unfinished truth. One night, you share a real detail. A childhood tied to the smell of old wood in the library, the fear of missing your first autumn in a new city, or the fact that you never drink coffee with sugar. You let them see a small piece of the real you. They open up, believing they're unlocking your heart. Then you stop. Shift to another topic. The story remains unfinished, and that's what haunts them. They begin to imagine, to fill in the gaps, to dream up the missing pieces. A secret doesn't need to be whole. An unfinished truth unsettles more than a complete story ever could. Step 4. Mystery, not chaos. Players sow chaos, mixed signals, unkept promises, half-veiled hints. You don't need that. You need clarity wrapped in mystery. Clarity. You have boundaries around time, work, relationships. Everyone knows you don't cancel plans to chase sudden emotions. Mystery. You don't reveal all intentions, don't over-explain feelings. You live, you act, but you leave space for their imagination. You don't pretend to be hard to get. You truly are, because your life is already full. And when they see you not waiting on texts, not sighing at their silence, they start to panic. What players hate most isn't rejection. It's being left outside a door they don't know how to open. Step 5. The emotional trap. Then exit gracefully. This is the final move. When they start mentioning us, when they initiate more, when they believe they finally hold you, that's when you leave. Not in a fight, not with accusations. You leave gently. A short goodbye, a quiet disappearance. No tears, no drawn-out replies. You simply close the door without noise. Power isn't in thunder. Power is closing the door so no one hears the lock. Players will be confused. They won't know what went wrong, won't have an ending to cling to. And from there, the memory of you keeps replaying, growing like an echo that doesn't fade. Summary of the 5 steps. You don't need to be colder than them. You only need to be more calculated. Frame, reward, unfinished truth, mystery, ending. That's the map. Not flashy, not dramatic, just composure that throws others off balance. In this journey, you don't become someone who plays games. You simply choose to stand steady, so your heart doesn't get dragged into false rhythms. And when you walk away in serenity, you become the lesson they never forget. Number 4, why this works: concise science. The effectiveness of this strategy isn't magic. It lives in the brain. The human brain hates unfinished things, hates gaps, hates stories without endings. When you leave at the right time, with no explanation, no drama, their brain falls into what's called the Zeigarnik loop. It keeps circling back, asking, what did I miss? Why did they stop there? Why didn't they finish? You're like a novel cut off at the best chapter. They keep turning, finding no next page, and your image becomes an obsession. Not because you were perfect, but because they never got to finish reading. Next is dopamine. It doesn't spike at the reward. It spikes in the wait for the reward. When they hope for a text, a nod, the next meeting, their brain releases dopamine like a drug. When you pull the rhythm away, they fall into emptiness. Like an addict used to a daily fix, suddenly cut off. It's no longer desire, it's deficiency. They will feel you as something lost, even if they never valued you while they had you. That longing isn't soft, isn't romantic. It's a thirst, an itch in the mind that can't be scratched. Then comes the larger law, loss aversion. Loss hurts more than joy gives. Double, triple. Players usually don't fear loss because they believe they never need to hold anyone. But once they think they had you and you leave, the sense of loss fuels obsession. You become the question they can't solve. They rewind every moment, wondering where they went wrong, and the lack of an answer spins them deeper into helplessness. Finally, the deepest fear, fear of irrelevance. Players build power on feeling special, magnetic. But when you don't react, don't beg, don't need them, they face a terrifying truth. Maybe I'm not that special after all. That's when they panic, not for losing you, but for losing the mirror that once reflected their power. And from then on, you're the figure they can't erase. The effect doesn't come from doing more. It comes from not doing. Silence at the right time. Withdrawal at the right beat. That's enough to flip the whole game. Number 5. Real-life applications. Nora leads, Carver concludes. The strategy isn't only for love. It's the way you show up in every relationship. In dating, in work, in society. Wherever there are power games, you need composure. In dating, picture yourself walking into a cafe. The other shows up with familiar charm. Words heavy with weight, eyes that burn, a smile that pulls attention from the next table. You sit down, not startled, not running with their rhythm. You listen, give a small smile at the right moment. Let your gaze drift when needed. No overreaction, no rush to decode every signal. When they tell a story, you let them speak. But when the story ends, instead of rushing in with praise, you hold a short silence. That silence shakes them more than any compliment. Players are used to admiration. What unsettles them isn't a gaze of desire, but a gaze of calm. In work, you're in a meeting. A colleague wants control, speaks endlessly, manipulates the air in the room. Others argue, resist, grow heated. You don't. You sit upright, take notes, let them perform. Then, when needed, you say one short, clear, precise sentence. Just one, and the room falls silent. That's the frame of power. Whoever stays composed gets heard. Whoever speaks less makes words echo longer. You don't need to scramble. You only need to show up as if you lack nothing, need nothing proven. And that presence shakes those who are used to attention. In society, social media is fertile ground for power games. Who posts the most? Who shouts the loudest? Who shows off? But noise usually echoes for only a day. You choose differently. You don't share everything. Don't narrate life hour by hour. Instead, you live fully. And when you appear, that appearance has weight. A picture not rushed. A line of words, brief yet heavy. People will ask, "Where are you? What are you doing? Why have you been silent so long?" And that question keeps you in their mind longer than 1,000 status updates. In a world addicted to noise, silence is power. The common lesson. Whether in love, work, or society, the principle is the same. Don't chase chaotic signals. Don't trade your peace for scraps of attention. Don't fear losing what was never truly yours. The calmer you are, the more you make others stumble. The steadier you stand, the more you make them doubt their own strength. Simple. A soft no. A full life. A silence at the right moment. Enough to flip the board. Final image of the section. Try it once. When the player disappears, you don't panic. When they return, you don't explode with emotion. When they try to make you jealous, you only smile and turn away. You'll see strength isn't in making them hurt. Strength is in standing still, steady, while they begin to spin around your silence. That's not a game, that's character. Number 6. Inner stability after walking away. Nora nurtures, Carver anchors. After you walk away, temptation comes. A hey text, a birthday wish, a photo stirring memory. Don't mistake it. That isn't love, that's a test. You'll want to reply, to prove you're not bitter, to keep some connection. But stop. Instead of grabbing the phone, brew a cup of tea. Step outside. Let the wind touch your face. Call a friend who understands without needing explanations. Don't reopen the door you locked. Every reply is power handed back. At times you'll regret the script you once wrote, that you could be the exception, that loyalty could make them change. But that was illusion. No one owes becoming better just because you sacrificed. Bury the old script. You're not medicine. You're just the one who chose to step away at the right time. Focus on the new life, the work you love, the habits that keep you strong, the relationships that give peace. When your life is full, players feel like clutter. Power isn't in making them hurt. Power is in not trembling anymore. Number 7. Conclusion, Carver sharp, Nora warm. Don't fight in the room they built. Change the field. Change the rules. When you no longer play, they lose the game. One morning, you open the window. Sunlight pours in. You take a deep breath. Not to wait for a message, but simply to feel that you are alive, whole, steady. In that moment, you realize you never needed to defeat anyone. You only needed to defeat the habit of bowing to cheap games. True strength isn't making someone kneel. True strength is walking away calmly without looking back. And once you've left, you are no longer someone for them to possess. You are a memory, an unsolved question, an unfinished chapter they will never get to read. But for you, it's just a closed book, making room for brighter, newer chapters. Don't return. Not because they are bad, but because you've gone further.